In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, he told me, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages that you had.
That line just, it sets the whole tone, doesn't it? Straight away, we're inside Nick Carraway's head, seeing the world through his, let's say, carefully constructed lens. Welcome, everyone, to the deep dive.
And it really is a deep dive today. We are plunging right into F. Scott Fitzgerald's, masterpiece, The Great Gatsby.
Absolutely. Timeless.
Our mission here is to, really unpack these first 9 chapters. We're not just going to walk through the plot points.
No, not at all.
We want to dig out those insights, those little nuggets that make the story resonate nearly a century later. We're looking past the parties, past the glamour.
Straight into the messy reality underneath. The relationships, the symbolism, the critique of the American dream hiding in plain sight.
Exactly. So let's start right there with Nick, our narrator. He tells us he's from this prominent, well-to-do family out in the Middle West.
Right, and he kicks off with that advice from his father about not criticizing people because of advantages.
Which sounds noble, but then...
Then he immediately says, well, that reserving judgment has a limit.
Yeah. So right away you're thinking, okay, how reliable is this guy?
Yeah.
How's his perspective shaping what we see, especially about Gatsby?
It's brilliant because he's telling us he's biased. He admits he holds this unaffected scorn for pretty much everyone else he meets back east. But Gatsby's different. He has this extraordinary gift for hope, this romantic readiness. It's a total contradiction right from page 1. Nick is fascinated, even though he might not want to be.
So it's spring 1922.
Yeah.
Nick heads east, wants to get into the bond business, and he lands on Long Island in this place Fitzgerald calls one of the strangest communities in North America. Which brings us to the geography.
The eggs.
West Egg and East Egg, these 2 unusual formations of land.
Identical shit. But worlds apart socially. It's such a perfect setup. West Egg is where Nick rents his little $80 a month weather-beaten cardboard bungalow.
Right, squeezed between 2 huge places. New money lives here.
And one of those huge places is, of course, Gatsby's mansion, this colossal affair, basically a knockoff French hotel.
A factual imitation of some Hotel de Ville in Normandy. Yeah. And then across Bay.
You've got the white palaces of fashionable East Egg, old money, established families, where the Buchanans live.
It's more than just rich versus richer, isn't it? It feels like the landscape itself is showing you that the American dream isn't quite equal access. Some paths are paved with inherited gold.
Absolutely. It screams, origins matter.
And speaking of inherited gold, Tom Buchanan.
Oh, Tom. Nick knew him from college. Fitzgerald paints him as this brute, basically. Sturdy, straw-haired man of 30, arrogant eyes, a cruel body.
And immensely wealthy, bringing a string of polo ponies east like it's nothing. It's chilling how Nick just sort of presents Tom's awfulness without much direct comment. Like, this kind of behavior is just expected.
Accepted, yeah. And then there's Daisy, Nick's second cousin.
Daisy. Her voice.
Her voice. That low, thrilling voice. Fitzgerald really focuses on it, how it pulls you in like a singing compulsion.
But then there's her laugh, too. That absurd, charming little laugh. It feels manufactured, like a little defense mechanism.
Maybe. It definitely hints that not everything is as effortless and charming as it seems on the surface. And that first dinner party at their place really drives that home.
It's suffocatingly hot in this massive Georgian colonial mansion.
Yeah.
And the heat just seems to bring out the worst in Tom.
Oh, yeah. He starts spouting off these incredibly racist, bigoted ideas from some book, The Rise of the Colored Empires.
Saying civilization's going to pieces, worrying the white race will be utterly submerged. Just awful stuff.
And presented so matter-of-factly. But maybe even more disturbing is what Daisy says about her own daughter, Pammy.
That line gives me chills every time. I hope she'll be a fool. That's the best thing a girl can be in this world. A beautiful little fool.
Oh, she's dripping with cynicism, isn't it? Like, she's admitting her own life, trapped in this golden cage, is kind of meaningless.
It's profoundly sad. And right on cue, the phone rings. Reality intrudes.
Yep. Tom's got some woman in New York. Just like that, the perfect facade cracks.
And we also meet Jordan Baker here for the first time, just lounging on the couch, completely motionless.
Nick recognizes her, the famous golfer. She has this very cool, almost detached vibe right away. Independent.
So this first chapter just lays out all this simmering tension, the decay under the wealth. And it ends perfectly with Nick seeing Gatsby for the first time.
That iconic image, Gatsby on his lawn at night, reaching out across the water
Towards
a single green light, minute and far away. Full of mystery, full of longing, just powerful.
It really is. But that image, that sort of romantic ideal, it gets pretty quickly contrasted with something much grittier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We need to talk about the Valley of Ashes.
Oh, absolutely. This place between West Egg and New York City, Fitzgerald calls it a fantastic farm where ashes grow like wheat. It's industrial wasteland.
It's the dumping ground, literally and metaphorically, for the city's excess.
Yes.
The human cost of all that glittering wealth we just saw.
And watching over it all, those eyes.
Dr. T.J. Eckelberg. Huge blue eyes on a fading billboard, brooding over the ash heaps. What do you make of those eyes?
They feel like God, maybe. Or the absence of God, a kind of moral judgment that nobody's paying attention to anymore. They see everything, but they don't intervene. It's haunting.
Definitely haunting. And it's in this bleak setting that Tom forces Nick to meet his mistress, Myrtle Wilson.
Myrtle's described very differently from Daisy. She's got this thickish figure, but also this raw, immediately perceptible vitality.
Yeah, a real contrast to her husband, George Wilson, who runs the garage there. He's blonde, spiritless, anemic. He's just faded.
Tom buys Myrtle a puppy, an Airedale, on a whim.
And then whisks them off to this secret apartment party in New York. And Myrtle... Wow, she transforms.
Oh, completely. Puts on a fancy dress, this cream-colored chiffon, and suddenly she's acting all haughty, complaining about the lower orders.
It's almost pathetic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying so hard to mimic the rich people she despises and envies.
It really is. And the other guests there, her sister Catherine with the red hair and clanking bracelets, the McKees.
Mr. McKee, the pale, feminine photographer, and his wife, who's described as shrill, languid, handsome, and horrible. What a description.
Fitzgerald really sketches these minor characters vividly, doesn't he? They're all part of this rather tawdry, desperate scene.
And the whole thing ends so ugly. Tom just holes off and breaks Myrtle's nose.
Because she keeps saying Daisy's name.
Yeah.
Just like that. Brutal, casual violence. It shows Tom's true colors, his absolute control.
It's a really jarring scene. And then we swing back to the other side of the tracks, so to speak, to Gatsby's parties.
The legendary parties. The scale is just mind-boggling. Music all summer long. Guests like moths drawn to the light. Food, drinks, and orchestra. His Rolls Royce acting like a bus.
But what's so strange is how impersonal it all is. People just show up. People were not invited. They went there.
Right. Acting like they're at an amusement park. No connection to the host, mostly.
And the rumors about Gatsby are flying. He killed a man. He was a German spy related to Kaiser Wilhelm.
He's intentionally cultivated this mystique. It feeds the legend. But then there's that funny little moment in the library.
With owl eyes. The guy who's amazed the books are real.
Absolutely real, have pages and everything. It's such an unexpected touch of, well, reality amidst all the spectacle. Like, maybe Gatsby wants the appearance of substance, even if it's just for show.
And then finally, Nick meets the man himself, and it's almost accidental.
Yeah, he's just chatting with this guy, and boom, it turns out that's Gatsby.
And Gatsby has this smile. Fitzgerald describes it as having this quality of eternal reassurance. Like, it believes in you completely.
It's incredibly charming, magnetic, but then there's the formality, the old sport thing.
Which feels a little off.
Yeah.
A bit rehearsed.
A little. And those mysterious phone calls he keeps getting pulled away for. Philadelphia wants you on the phone. Hints of something else going on.
For sure. And this section also gives us more on Jordan Baker. Nick doesn't paint a flattering picture.
No, he calls her incurably dishonest. Brings up that story about her maybe cheating in a golf tournament, moving her ball.
And their conversation about driving, that says so much. She's totally reckless.
They'll keep out of my way, she says. And it takes two to make an accident. Zero responsibility.
Which prompts Nick to think about himself, concluding, I am one of the few honest people that I have ever known.
Which is quite a statement. You see him trying to define himself against this backdrop of carelessness and dishonesty he's finding in the East.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to hold on to some kind of moral center, which gets harder as we learn more about Gatsby himself.
Right, because Gatsby starts feeding Nick his backstory, and it's quite a story.
His first version, anyway. Son of wealthy people in the Middle West, all dead now, educated at Oxford.
And Nick is immediately skeptical. He says he either swallowed it or choked on it. Especially when Gatsby claims San Francisco is in the Middle West. Oops.
Big oops. Then comes the tale of being a Raja in Asia, collecting jewels, hunting big game.
Plus the war hero stuff, captain, major, medals from every allied country, even little Montenegro. It's a lot. Almost too much.
Sounds completely fabricated. And then we meet Meyer Wolfsheim.
Ah, Wolfsheim. The small, flat-nosed Jew with the memorable cuff buttons.
Human molars.
Yeah.
Shudder.
Definitely creepy. And Wolfsheim flat out says he made Gatsby, raised him up out of nothing, right out of the gutter. That's the first real confirmation of Gatsby's shady background.
And Tom Buchanan later fills in the blanks, doesn't he? About the drugstores being fronts for bootlegging grain alcohol, and how Gatsby let his partner, Walter Chase, take the fall.
So the glamorous image starts to crumble pretty fast. We learn the truth. He wasn't born wealthy. He was James Gatz.
From North Dakota, right. A clam digger and a salmon fisher, as a boy. But with huge dreams, this turbulent riot in his heart, these grotesque and fantastic conceits.
He wanted out, and his chance came when he met Dan Cody.
The millionaire yachtsman. The pioneer debauchee. Gatsby, or Gatz then, warns him about a storm, gets taken aboard.
And ends up working for Cody for 5 years. Steward, mate, skipper, secretary, even jailer when Cody got too drunk.
This is where he learns the ways of the rich. And it's why Gatsby doesn't drink, right? See what alcohol did to Cody.
Exactly. Cody even left him $25,000 in his will, which would have been a huge start.
But he got cheated out of it by Cody's mistress, Ella Kay. So all he inherited was the education, the ambition, and maybe the name change. Jay Gatsby is born.
So the mansion, the parties, the whole elaborate performance, it all comes down to one thing.
Daisy.
Daisy. Jordan tells Nick the whole story. Gatsby bought that specific house right across the bay from her, purely for her.
All of it was to get her attention, to show her he'd made it. He just wants Nick to invite her over for tea.
Because he wants her to see his house. He's waited so long. It's incredibly romantic, but also obsessive.
Totally excessive. And the reunion itself is just dripping with awkwardness at first.
Gatsby is a nervous wreck. He has Nick's lawn mowed, sends over flowers, shows up in this perfect white suit with a gold tie. But he looks pale, sleepless.
And he's so clumsy, almost knocks over Nick's clock. Which is perfect symbolism, right? Trying to stop time, turn it back.
Beautifully put. But then, once Daisy starts to relax, Gatsby just transforms.
He literally glowed, radiated this new well-being. It's like the sun came out for him.
And the tour of the mansion, showing off everything, culminating in the shirt scene.
Ah, the shirts. Daisy breaking down, sobbing over how beautiful his shirts are. It makes me sad because I've never seen such beautiful shirts before.
People sometimes mock that scene, but it's not really about the shirts themselves, is it?
No, it's about the sheer, overwhelming evidence of the wealth he's amassed for her. It's the symbol of the life she could have had, maybe the life she thinks she missed.
It's a moment heavy with unspoken regret, and that's when the green light changes for Gatsby.
He points it out to Daisy, her dock light. But Nick observes the colossal significance of that light had now vanished forever.
Because the dream was, in that moment, graspable, real. Now it was again a green light on a dock. His count of enchanted objects had diminished by one. The reality of Daisy has arrived.
And holding on to that reality proves difficult. Things start moving faster now towards the clash.
Gatsby stops the huge parties, focusing only on Daisy. He even fires his staff and brings in Wolfsheim's people who wouldn't gossip, getting more secretive.
And Tom senses something's up. He drops by Gatsby's place uninvited. You can just feel the tension, that old money versus new money awkwardness.
It all comes to a head at the Plaza Hotel on that brutally hot day.
Daisy says it right out loud to Gatsby with Tom right there. You know I love you.
And Tom loses it. That's when he really goes on the attack, revealing Gatsby's bootlegging. He and this Wolfsheim bought up drugstores, sold grain alcohol over the counter.
He tears down the Oxford story, too. Points out it was just a short program for officers after the war. Rips the whole facade apart.
Then Gatsby makes his fatal demand. He needs Daisy to tell Tom, I never loved you.
But she can't. That's the turning point. She says, I did love him once, but I loved you too.
She admits she loved Tom and then adds, even alone, I can't say I never loved Tom. It wouldn't be true.
That's the moment Gatsby's dream dies, isn't it?
Yeah.
The past can't be perfectly repeated. She can't erase calm.
It shatters him. And Tom, seeing he's won, sends Daisy home with Gatsby in Gatsby's yellow car, almost contemptuously.
Magnanimous scorn, Fitzgerald calls it. Just brutal.
And that car ride sets up the final tragedy. Before that, though, they stop at Wilson's garage on the way into the city.
Right. Tom's paranoia is high, and Wilson is visibly sick. He tells Tom he suspects Myrtle is having an affair.
And he plans to take her away, move west. He even found that expensive dog leash, which confirms it for him. The tension there is palpable.
And then on the drive back from the city, disaster. Myrtle sees the yellow car.
She thinks it's Tom coming back for her, runs out into the road.
And is hit. Killed instantly. By Gatsby's car.
But Nick figures it out later. The horrifying truth.
Daisy was driving.
Daisy was driving, and Gatsby, without hesitation, says he'll take the blame. I'll say I was. Protecting her even then.
And that final image Nick sees that night. Tom and Daisy in their kitchen.
Yeah. Eating cold chicken, drinking ale. They weren't happy, and yet they weren't unhappy either. There was an unmistakable air of natural intimacy. They were conspiring together.
Chilling. Back in their safe bubble of money and carelessness, leaving the mess for others.
It really sets the stage for the aftermath, doesn't it? The final unraveling.
It does. Gatsby keeps this lonely vigil outside Daisy's house all night, still hoping she needs him, still believing Tom might hurt her.
He tells Nick more about their past then, how he felt he took her under false pretenses, letting her think he was from the same wealthy background.
And how his commitment to her became his life's mission, his grail.
While Daisy, back then, fell into nervous despair, waiting for him after the war, and ultimately chose Tom for his stability, his unquestionable practicality.
But Gatsby still won't let go of the past. He actually argues with Nick, you can't repeat the past. Why, of course you can. He truly believes he can reset everything.
It's delusion, but it's profound delusion. He even puts off draining his pool, though summer's over. Says he never used that pool all summer. Like he's waiting for one perfect moment that never came.
While Gatsby waits, George Wilson is consumed by grief and rage.
He fixates on the yellow car, convinced Myrtle's death wasn't an accident, it was murder.
And those eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg, Wilson starts seeing them as God's eyes.
God sees everything, he says. It fuels his quest for vengeance. He starts tracking down the owner of that yellow car.
And Tom Buchanan points him in the right direction.
Which leads Wilson straight to Gatsby's mansion.
The ending is just...
yeah.
abrupt and brutal. Gatsby's found floating dead in his pool. Wilson's body nearby. Murder-suicide. The dream is definitively over.
And the cleanup begins. Or rather, the lack of it.
Yeah, the aftermath is stark. Police, reporters, wild rumors in the papers, grotesque, circumstantial, eager, and untrue.
Myrtle's sister Catherine lies to the inquest, says Myrtle never knew Gatsby, protecting Daisy.
And Daisy and Tom. Gone. Vanished. Taking baggage with them, Nick finds out. Left no address.
Just retreated back into their money, as Nick later puts it.
Nick tries desperately to get people to come to Gatsby's funeral. But nobody wants to be involved.
Meyer Wolfsham gives that cold, cynical excuse. When a man gets killed, I never like to get mixed up in it. Business is business.
Even Klipspringer, the guy who basically lived at Gatsby's house all summer.
The boarder. He just calls to ask about a pair of tennis shoes he left behind. Won't come to the funeral.
It's just incredibly bleak. Shows how utterly alone Gatsby really was despite the crowds.
The only person besides Nick who shows up is...
Gatsby's father.
Huh.
Henry C. Gass, a solemn old man from Minnesota.
And he brings that little book, Gatsby's copy of Hopalong Cassidy from when he was a boy.
With that schedule written inside. Rise from bed. 6 a.m. dumbbell exercise. Study electricity. Practice elocution. All these plans for self-improvement.
It's such a poignant, humanizing touch. It shows you the earnest, ambitious kid, James Gatz, underneath the glamorous facade of Jay Gatsby.
But the funeral itself is tiny. Just Nick, Mr. Gatz, and Owl Eyes, who shows up unexpectedly at the cemetery.
Highlighting Gatsby's isolation in death as much as in life.
Nick's final reflections really wrap things up. He breaks things off with Jordan Baker.
Yeah, confronting her carelessness. She tries to call him out, saying she thought he was honest, that it was his secret pride.
But Nick's changed. He says, I'm 30. I'm 5 years too old to lie to myself and call it honor. He's leaving that behind.
He runs into Tom Buchanan one last time, too.
And Tom admits he's the one who told Wilson that Gatsby owned the L car. No remorse at all.
Justifies it even. Says Gatsby had it coming, calls it self-defense because Wilson was crazy enough to kill me.
It leads Nick to that final, devastating judgment of Tom and Daisy.
They were careless people. They smashed up things and creatures and then retreated back into their money or their vast carelessness and let other people clean up the mess they had made.
That line just hits so hard. It sums them up perfectly.
It really does. And Nick decides he has to get out of the East. It's haunted for him now. He's going back to the Middle West.
Before he leaves, he reflects on Long Island itself, imagining it as the fresh, green breast of the new world that the first Dutch sailors saw, this sense of lost promise.
And that connects back to Gatsby, doesn't it? His wonder when he first picked out the green light at the end of Daisy's dock, believing in that future.
That orgastic future that year by year recedes before us. We keep reaching, but it keeps slipping away.
So wrapping up our deep dive into these chapters, we've seen this collision of immense wealth, powerful illusions, rigid class structures, and the tragic fallout of chasing impossible dreams and living with moral carelessness.
Yeah, we've watched how these characters, particularly the wealthy ones, act with impunity and how their choices wreck lives around them.
It really makes you think about those enduring themes. American ambition, what's real versus what just looks good, and the steep price of trying to recapture the past.
So after exploring all this, maybe take a moment to consider, in a world that's always pushing forward, what are you still reaching back for? And more importantly, what might be the real cost of holding on to something that's already behind you?